Hey MVPs, Rico Knows here. Going to talk to you guys about Week 0's results. The game's just ended, and I want to do my results show as soon as possible while it's still fresh in my brain and everything like that. So we only had 5 games today. It's going to be really easy. Just so you're aware, during the season, I typically do results shows Sunday morning. So while you're getting ready to go watch the NFL games and stuff, I am doing the results show. So please join us on the Discord stage. Come join us. Look, we have people in there right now. We got about 25 people still left from the games all day today. We live streamed all day long. Gave some live betting advice, talked about some of the plays and some of the things that are happening. But let's talk about these teams and talk about how dialed in we were. Shout out to us, MVPs. If you aren't green after Week 0, I don't know what to tell you. You should be very fucking green. And that's because you have to understand that not every single game is a bet. We got to pick every game. You don't have to bet every game. If you look here, we made our only lock of the night. Only lock of the night, meaning you should be heavy on that joint. At least one unit, whatever increment you want. But this is the lock of all locks. And it's Kansas is beating Fresno State. And they're covering the spread. The lean of the night, Western Kentucky covering the spread against Sam Houston. Both of those occurred. And then we get to the coin flips. Not sure if we're going to cover the spread or not. Went ahead and took K-State, Idaho State, and Stanford. 1 out of 3 on this side. Notice, it's going to be green over here. It's going to be red over here. Meaning, don't put so much money in these games, even if it's the biggest game of the weekend. Like the first game of the day is Iowa State, K-State. But it's overseas, in the rain, and before you make a bet, you should be checking the weather, checking injury reports. And it's just ridiculous. 2 even teams, there's no point in trying to make money on that. Go pick a game where you know there's an advantage, like Vegas doesn't know how terrible Fresno State is. I know how bad they are. Vegas will adjust, but in this first week, this was your chance to make all the money you could on the fact that Fresno State is not who you think they are. They're who I think they are. And I was 100% right. Now we go to the money lines. Once again, easy to do. No big deal. Missed the coin flips. What's significant about this is are we missing one money line? I'm missing one money line. Which one is it? Am I tripping right now? Fresno State's here. Kansas here. Sam Houston's here. Sam Houston's not over here. It would be a lean. I don't know what the money line was for the Sam Houston game. Sam Houston. Oh, no, we're not doing that. Control Z that. Sorry, there's already games in here. If you didn't know, you see all these green boxes? I already have the chart filled out for next week. I just have it in white text right now. So I owe you guys a lean, and it would have been Western Kentucky money line. It doesn't matter. I don't have to put it on the chart. I guess I do. I'll put it here. Give me 1 second. That's unfortunate. Sam Houston at WKU. Unknown. And we hit it for WKU. I don't know why I put WKY over here. That's not right. It's okay. And that being a hit on the leans, this is money lines. So first off, we got it right. There we go. Even numbers now. And then that's a lean. And I'll be showing you guys these charts here in a second. And that's our second lean we hit right. Okay? So it's a little weird. I'm missing something. It should only be 5. Oh, that's only 2. All right, makes sense now. Money lines, we're 3-2. Against the spread, we're 3-2. Sorry about that. And I'll talk about all this other stuff. Talent chart, we're 1-1. We got 1 right, 1 wrong. The money line unit flip, got it wrong. We had to just guess either K-State or Iowa State. We knew Kansas was going to win, and we did the money line flip. I felt like there was no really good play this week, and I told you guys that. If you watch the video, you got to watch the videos. Videos are everything. My favorite plays went 3-0. My favorite plays were over here. What can you do with that? You can round robin them. You can parlay them. You can come up with your own ideas. I don't give a shit. This is where my favorite plays are. Rico, they're minus 480 and 420. Yeah, learn to work with them. And learn to get money and be content with ROI. And your ROI of 20%, 30%, 40% is better than 0. You will be green on the day. Some of you guys, you're red, you're fucking dead. Like, I don't know what to tell you. That's fucking crazy, okay? So we did all this. Got it? Let's go to the props chart. We're going to be talking about the props chart. We missed on the best bets. This is a rough start for us, 25%. Usually we're in 42%. So we're going to get better. It'll happen. It's just some things went wrong. Townsend wasn't on the depth chart, didn't even play. Sewell didn't get any catches. I'll talk about that in the game when I break it down. We did get the Kansas one right, alternate spread, alternate under. And then we just got robbed by Highshaw not getting any touchdowns. And Stanford somehow, we didn't get the alternate over. Should have went to overtime and scored a touchdown and got the alternate over. And we'll talk about that. Anyways, we hit everything here except for Edwards got injured on the first play of the game. Can't predict an injury on the first play. That's fucking crazy. then got really surgical, hit everything. Hinshaw once again got robbed in the end zone. We got really surgical again, went ahead and got this right. Kansas first quarter spread, Western Kentucky alt spread. You know, when I have something like this on the chart and it says first quarter spread, and then you write me a DM and go, Rico, do you believe in the first quarter spread for Kansas Fresno State still? Get the fuck out of the chat and don't ever talk to me again. Guys, I cannot repeat myself. There's thousands of you, and I don't have time to answer all your individual questions. I just don't. I'm live streaming with the MVPs, and I'm getting DMs all day long about, Rico, do you still believe in this? Do you still believe in that? I still believe you need to watch the videos, take good notes, and leave me the fuck alone. That's real, because I'm working. I work all day long. I'm working on the chart. I've been working on this chart all day long. And there's not a day I don't work. 7 days a week. I'm doing research and preparing for the next week, and the next week, and the next week. And it takes me all day, every day. I'm not one of these cappers who comes up with predictions with no research and just say, oh, you know what? Against the spread, they do this, and here's the numbers, and here's the... That's not how it works, man. I sit down and analyze matchups. We'll go over that. Sam Roush did not get 25 yards, even though he was targeted a lot. He didn't get the catches, and we'll talk about why. His quarterback is gross. We didn't catch the Stanford team total over. I knew they had to score over 24 points to win the game. Didn't happen, so they didn't win the game. Xavier Townsend, not even in the game, not even part of the game plan. They lied about depth charts. We'll get to it. Not really lied. It's just it wasn't the correct depth chart, and that happens. Rocco Becht didn't get over 20 yards rushing. Ended up with 18. And listen, some of these look really juicy, but this is about right. 37.5% in the value bets. Last year was 32% on the whole season. So seeing 37%, this is about right. You can't bet all of these. Some of them are going to hit. Pick the right ones. Pick and choose or avoid them or just stay out of the whole column. Stay out of this whole entire column if you can't live with hitting at 33% on these bigger bets. Just stay out of it. But I can tell you that if you see a plus 100 over here, it's only going to hit 30% of the time. Even if it's a plus 100, it's only going to hit 30% of the time because it's purple. Purples only hit that rate. If it's over here and it's plus 100, typically it would hit at 42%. You would have a 10% increase. If it's over here and it's plus 100, you got to trust this a little more, even though we weren't dialed in on that. Nonetheless, let's go talk about these games. So, oh, by the way, prop bets, 13 and 13 today at 50%. We were only above 50% on prop bets last season. I want to say 3 different weeks. So this is a really good day for prop bets. Prop bets don't hit well. You can see over here, you see these percentages, 42, 48, 32. By and large, you're not going to be over 50%. So you can't afford to bet all these. You have to pick and choose carefully or avoid them. Some of you guys are in states where you can only do prop bets. Get good. Figure it out. Aim low. That's what I would tell you. Your prize picks, some of these hit, you got to aim low. Stop going for the Red Devil. Stop going for that other shit, trying to triple, quadruple your money, whatever it is. Just go simple. Just go double your money. 40 to 80. Shout out to some of the MVPs who did that today. Okay? Let's talk about these games. First game is Hawaii-Stanford. I told you guys, Hawaii does have a good passing offense. They really do. Unfortunately for them, Alejado, this kid, little guy, he got injured, so he couldn't get under his feet. But he was still out there just gunslinging. I do have concerns that they wouldn't play a backup quarterback over him. They just felt he was the best one on the field, even though he was injured. That's a little concerning because you should have a quarterback that's competent to go out there and throw. Now, Hawaii at one point did get run over pretty bad where they couldn't stop a 9-minute drive. That's a little demoralizing. That's terrible, and that's indicative of not having a really strong defensive line. But also, Stanford just has a good offensive line. They just do. They're going to have bigger, stronger players. They used to recruit 4-star players back when they have David Shaw. They still have remnants of that. They're left over. But Stanford's actually losing a ton of talent, or at least they were in the last 2 or 3 years, to the transfer portal. All the starting offensive linemen have left. They went to Michigan. They went to Oklahoma. They hit the portal and never be seen again. So now Stanford has to make do with what they have, and it just looks like the leftovers. And that's how they played. There is going to be no way you can believe in Stanford to score. Like Hawaii had a chance to score the entire game. We believe it. You can see it. They can throw the ball. They got 3 receivers that are always open. It's all there. Stanford, you got to pray that Stanford's going to get in the game. I would say that Stanford does play a sound defense. Like, they're fine. The under's going to be in play most of their games, but they just can't score. And if they're trailing, if you get good odds, you got to take the other side and go live on the other side. They're not going to catch up. There's no big play threat here. They can't beat you over the top. And their quarterback play, even though I gave, I was going to say Jebbia, but that was the other kid from Oregon State. No, Ben Gulbranson, even though I gave this guy a 5. In the Power 4, the lowest score you can get is a 7 typically. If I think you're not good enough, I'll give you like 6 or something. I gave this guy a 5, and I still overrated him. He is terrible. One of the worst quarterbacks you'll see. And guys, his tape, I've been watching him play quarterback for 2 years. I was just telling the MVPs. First time I ever saw him was in the bowl game against Florida when they won by 30 2 years ago. That's the first time I remember him. I know I saw him before that, but that's the first time I really remember him because he was splitting. They gave a series to Tresh and to Jebbia. And Jebbia transferred out last year. But this kid, Gobranson, I've watched him wheel and deal and win games. He looked terrible. He couldn't throw the ball at all. Oh, it was gross. It was frustrating. Micah Ford's a hell of a running back. If you guys believe Stanford's going to score a touchdown, I got to imagine Micah Ford's the guy that's going to score the touchdown. Hawaii on the other side, still no touchdowns in the running game. They don't have a running back of any sort. Sims, the white guy, kind of slow. But their receivers are going to be the dudes that go out there and do the damn thing. So that's how we're going to have to feel about it. Ashlock got a touchdown, things like that. Unfortunately, I took Stanford to win by money line. I took it as an underdog. Didn't happen. Then when I took them on an alternate spread, I tried to take the alternate over. Didn't happen. And that's just the nature of the game, man. It sucks. Sucks because we had it won. Terrible play calling by Frank Wright. There's no way you throw a pass with 4 minutes left in the game or 5 minutes left in the game. You have everything in front of you, bro. You just got to run the ball. Michael Ford just broke for a first down. Just run the ball over and over and over until you win the game. And they didn't do that. It was outrageous. It was outrageous. Terrible decision making. I can't predict that shit, and I'm sorry that we missed. That's true. Next game. Speaking of can't predict that shit, Iowa State beats K-State. Now, the talent chart got it right. Talent chart was 1-0 on this. It told me Iowa State was going to win the game. Obviously, the talent chart told me that Stanford was going to win this game. So the talent chart's 1-1 right now. It's not good, 50%. We'll still figure it out. I still trust the talent chart immensely. Iowa State wins this game. So what's some things that go wrong here? First, K-State, star player gets injured. Your best player, your breakaway speed, Dylan Edwards, gets injured on the very first play, never plays a single snap. That eternally sucks. That really does for us because I'm on K-State, and I think they're going to win the game. But K-State, some of the other issues I have is their receivers are not overly fast. They can't beat you over the top, so it's just kind of like possession wide receiver type stuff. And their quarterback play, Avery Johnson, I said he was a 7.25. That was what I assessed him at in the offseason. And then I went around here week 0, and I tried to give him too much credit. And I should never have done that. I should just trust my evaluations over the summer because I did them much longer. I should not flip. I should not alter his score of any sort. I don't give a shit. Like, these stats are all empty. 273 yards, 21 for 30. None of this is real. This is yak, empty yardage when it doesn't matter. And when the game's on the line, that guy can't make a throw for you. Yes, he can run around. Yes, he can do, but that is not a dependable running quarterback. On the other side, Rocco Beck, he was dependable. And he found receivers that I've never heard of. And he made the most out of them. And that's very impressive. So shout out to Carson Beck. Shout out to Rocco Beck. Hansen running all over the guys. I felt good about that. Hansen looks like he's going to get the lion's share of the carries. Abu Sama looked exactly like I told you guys. I was on the under yards for Abu Sama. A little scary. 43.5 yards. He finished with 43. That's called surgical. We're really sharp around here. So we got it right. Abu Sama still sucks. Can't get any yards after contact. Can't make anybody miss. Very normal. But Iowa State's not a bad team. And I want you guys to know that K-State is not terrible. K-State was up against another equivalent team. And what's really cool about this is on my rankings, these teams are ranked right next to each other. That's as close to a coin flip as you can get, and look at the score. It's right next to each other. So we're really dialed in when we do a talent assessment. But at the same time, you can get a team like Stanford, who has probably better players, but terrible coaching decisions, and you can't win. Now, speaking of terrible coaching decisions, K-State should have won this game. But Chris Kleiman, apparently he didn't travel with a punter or a kicker when he went to Ireland at all. So we're talking about freak accidents, fumbles here and there, all that stuff. But more importantly, you have a coach who's not punting it on 4th and 8. He didn't punt and pin. 4th and 8. That's absurd. If it's 4th and 8, that means on 3rd down, you should have got half the yardage if you knew you were going for it on 4th down. They were also 4th and goal at the 7 and went for it instead of kicking a field goal. And then they were on their own 39-yard line and went for it on 4th and 1 and didn't get it instead of punting and pinning again. So that's 3 times that Chris Kleiman, the head coach for K-State, made terrible decisions, and it cost him this game. It really did. So that's absolutely ridiculous. Both those games, terrible coaching decisions. Next game, Idaho State, UNLV. I tried to talk to you guys about this. If you were watching the video, I hope you were. I said, hey, guys, look, Idaho State can throw the ball. They can move the ball. I believe in them. And at the same time, I think UNLV, they're not going to be gelling well. They got a lot of things going on in that locker room. They got Last Chance U. They got a lot of stars, a lot of recruiting stars. It's just a lot of recruiting misses. I don't believe in them like that. And sure enough, Idaho State looked like world beaters out here. Idaho State easily covered this spread of 20-something points. I even gave you guys an alternate spread of 32. They covered that. Everything looked great. I would tell you right now, you should be very concerned about UNLV. They were giving up huge amount of chunk yards to a team that doesn't run the ball, and they were running all over these guys. Now, on the other side, if you want a guaranteed payday, go and take Jet Thomas anytime touchdown, because he's going to have the burst to go anytime, and they're going to give him the rock when they want to score a touchdown. Jet Thomas is nice with it. He can do his thing. But if some dude named Cook can come back after redshirting last year and throw 380 yards against you, you're fucking trash. And that goes for a lot of those UNLV defenders. They're trash. So shout out to Idaho State covering the spread. We got that right. Feels good. UNLV just trying to figure themselves out. Obviously, they started the game with Orji at quarterback, then switched to Colandrea. Colandrea gives you the best chance to win the game. He can throw. Next game, the lock of the whole weekend. I told you guys it's a lock. Vegas doesn't know. I know. Fresno State's not good. I know. The talent is way off. It's nowhere near that of a Power 4 team. And even though Kansas doesn't look the part, they're going to be way better than these guys. Now, some of the things that really impressed me with Kansas, the receivers do not test out well when I evaluate them individually. They play pretty good, though. I will take it with a grain of salt. Fresno State doesn't have the greatest defense, but they looked really good. Cam Pickett looked much better than he did at Ball State, so he looked effective. That might be somebody you can target for prop yards and stuff. But Highshaw looks explosive. Highshaw looks really, really crisp. And I'm talking about like a burst, forward lean, finishing his runs, doing all those right things. And then when they take him out, LaShawn Williams is vulturing all the touchdowns. And that's the only place we missed on those props, is that Highshaw was supposed to get a touchdown and he just got vultured by his backup. LaShawn Williams, an Iowa transfer, looked really good and competitive in those moments. Quarterback-wise, Jalen Daniels, going to be the best season he's ever had because he's getting better, and as long as he's healthy, he's out there willing and dealing. He's balling. He is accurate. He's a lot more agile than you remember or you think. He can make people miss, extend plays, get first downs. He's a bad dude. I like everything about him. And then you have E.J. Warner. Threw 2 interceptions, which is what I expect from E.J. Warner. He's a gunslinger who's just got a lot of stats from throwing that rock. E.J. Warner does not take care of the ball. He's never done that, not at Temple, not at Rice. E.J. Warner's just out here to just let it rip. And if you thought he was great, you're wrong. He's not great, and neither is receivers. So Fresno State's in for a long season, like I anticipated, and Kansas looks great. We covered that spread easily. There was no sweat, and that's how you want it to feel when there's a lock. You guys got to believe in the locks. Just hang in there. It's the law of averages. We're going to eventually be on top when it comes to locks. It felt really good to get it right. 1-0. Let's keep it moving. Next game, a miracle. Western Kentucky covers the spread. They were about to not cover the spread. They had a great goal line stand at the end of the game. Sam Houston went for it on 4th down for no apparent reason, and that would have covered the spread, but it didn't. So we're good. We're here. We're happy, and we'll take it. So let's talk about some things. First off, before this game, I told all of you, Maverick McIver is him. He's coming over with his offensive coordinator. They're going to put up crazy numbers. It's Western Kentucky, a high-passing offense, and they found a receiver in Henry coming over from the FCS who they're just going to put up stupid numbers. And that's exactly what they did. Now, it wasn't the prettiest. There was some growing pains. They're still trying to figure each other out. It looks like McIver just throws the ball up in a big arc and just lets guys running underneath it. It's not. He doesn't have that zip that you're looking for. It's nothing like that. But I think that Western Kentucky had some things that people don't realize. They have this kid. His name is Parrish. Now, I didn't know that they were going to have Marvis Parrish in the starting lineup. No clue. This is a young man from Georgia. Shout out to Lowndes. Plays 7A football here in Georgia. He wasn't even a 1,000-yard rusher last year. He's just good. He has that extra burst. He can make people miss. He's going to break tackles. He had over 100 yards. Remember, 52 rushing yards, but he also had 58 receiving yards, and he scored a touchdown while receiving. He can do everything. So I really like this Marvis Parrish guy, true freshman, put the burst on the scene and looked great. So shout out to him. Another guy that looked pretty solid was Musa Berry. Obviously, KD Hutchinson. Like, all these guys can ball, and they're all going to be open and catch passes. So if you're looking for some receiving yards, I think you have to pay for it, but they're all pretty good. They really are. Shout out to them. I like the offense. On the other side, let me just talk about their defense for a second. Western Kentucky's defense, it's not good. They're running a 4-2-5 defense. I'm used to them running a 3-3-5, but for the most part, they were running a 4-2-5. They could not get after a mobile quarterback like Hunter Watson. They couldn't stop Hunter Watson. You can see it here. Hunter Watson, yes, he broke for 55 yards, but he also, that means he had, 40 yards? 30-something, 9 yards, something great, 30, I'm not doing the math right. I don't care. So, 36 yards. 36 yards on 13 carries, 3 yards a carry. Your quarterback can't be that effective. You got to be able to sack him. You got to be able to shut him down. Hunter Watson is going to be a problem. He's a little crafty. He was throwing pretty accurate, and while he was throwing, when I evaluate these guys, I don't go look at box scores. I go back and watch the games. And I didn't realize this. I went and looked at his box score while the game was going on today. I didn't realize that last year he threw really well. 62% completion percentage, and in conference play, he was actually pretty accurate. He was willing and dealing. He had a bad game against New Mexico State. I guess not a good game against Rice, but these are decent games. And then he had that bad game against Jacksonville State. But for the most part, this guy can go out there and be effective. And now that he has a coach like Phil Longo, he's teaching him where to put that ball and where to throw. This kid was a problem, and it's going to make it a problem when we're trying to bet against Sam Houston. They might sneak up and bite you. Now, some MVPs, if you guys are talking MVPs on the Discord server, they're going to tell you, we don't bet on Sam Houston or against Sam Houston. We don't put money on Sam Houston or against Sam Houston because they're so inconsistent, because they just have this weird brand of football. This is what we've learned. Like, we just stay away from it. So be aware that there will be some MVPs that tell you, oh, I don't touch Sam Houston. Don't freak out. It's just, there's just this tendency for them to show up some weeks and beat the hell out of people, and then some weeks to be terrible. So this was a week for Hunter Watson to be very good, and I thought he played well, even though he didn't throw any touchdowns. He threw a pick. It didn't matter. He can extend plays and run. Speaking of running, Alton McCaskill's here. Alton McCaskill breaks for 52 yards. Other than that, he struggled to really get going, but Alton McCaskill has that ability to burst. If you don't remember, this is the Conference USA Freshman of the Year 3 years ago. Played at Houston, rushed for 900 yards and 16 touchdowns as a freshman, and then he went and hit the transfer portal, went to Colorado, couldn't get on the field, and been bouncing around doing things, and he was at Arizona State last year, couldn't get on the field, and now here he is, and he's back home in Texas, and he's getting on the field, and he played well, and he did himself justice. So be aware of Alton McCaskill. And then the bigger thing here is that he got the most of the carries. Getting most of the carries is a big deal for Alton McCaskill. Get him more carries and see what can happen. Receiving wise, they got guys that can get open. It's fine. Elijah Green, Grady O'Neal, they got guys that can get open. I wouldn't be betting on any of them. The one guy I'm surprised they didn't get as many passes is Humphreys down here. Humphreys is pretty decent. It is what it is. Oh, by the way, I didn't even know Adrian Murda's here. Murda's a high school teammate of Alton McCaskill's. I did a high school film review on Murda a while ago. That's cool. They were the two running backs on the same high school team. I didn't know he played on the team. Huh. What do you know? Antavius Fish goes out and gets a bunch of tackles for Sam Houston. This is the Akron transfer. Pretty good stuff. You look over here, Brackenridge played great. He's been there for a long time. They got guys that can play. The problem is I need them to make stops. I need them to make stops, and we don't have to worry about it. But all in all, shout out to Western Kentucky. Came through. Going to be a lot of scoring from Western Kentucky all season long. So, 5 games. If you watch the pre-video, if you watch the video before they got on the field, I can't tell you how precise I was, but I want you to think about how much you knew about these teams before the games, and then as you watch the games, I want you to think about the stuff I said. Well, this team's going to pass this way. This team's going to do this. This team doesn't have good defensive ends. This team doesn't have this. And if you listen to what I'm saying and you watch the game, you will have those epiphanies like, oh, shit, Rico talked about that. Oh, he did say that. He did say that. And this is, and the reason I'm bringing this up is it's not about capping. It's not about my picks. It's about educating you to make better picks. It's about educating you to make better bets and better plays. The better you are and the more informed you are, the better the results, right? There's a test at the end of the week. I'm the textbook for the test. I'm here to help you guys. I'm doing my best. Please do your part. Do your own research. Before you place a bet, go check depth charts. Go check injury reports. Go check weather reports. All of that is essential before you put your money into an app because you care. There's nothing worse than putting your money on somebody and then you go find out, oh shit, they don't even play. And that happens in week 0 a lot. It's going to happen in week 1 a lot. Teams lie about their depth chart, they hide their injuries, and they haven't told you about their breakout freshman that's been kicking ass and taking names in the fall. They keep all that hidden from other teams. They're going to keep it hidden from us. So unless I have an insider with that team, and I do have insiders with certain teams, but if I don't have an insider with that team, I won't know. And some of you guys come to me and go, Rico, why didn't you know that? Hey, dude, do your research. Make sure you're as informed as possible. I'll do mine. I'm going to spend all week. I've told you guys, this chart is full. I've already filled out this chart. You can see it here. I'm going to be working on props all week long, identifying our advantages, where they're at. I'll be posting them on the Patreon homepage, on the Discord server. I've been posting them all week. If you don't have Discord, I don't know what to tell you. If you're not on Patreon, that's fucking wild to me. But if you go look at this chart and you pay attention, all these greens means I have plays in all these boxes. All these little green marks you see. There is plays in all the boxes. Okay? And that means we're ready to go. We're ready to go to make money, get it right. Shout out to you guys. This is the best week 0 we've had in 3 years. This is the best week 0 we've had in 3 years. I hope you're green. I hope you're really green. Thank you for being MVPs. Your friends don't know, but Rico knows. Peace, y'all.